Hey everyone, Avi Lewis here, NDP leader with a little on the way to the airport update in this moment of high stakes in Canada. I spoke to the Prime Minister it was an hour today, and mostly him taking me through the details of the negotiations. As you probably know, we supported Canada walking away from that deal. No deal is better than a bad deal. And it was clear that it was the Americans were sticking stuff in the last minute, and particularly in the auto sector and the steel sector. And then the question of prioritizing Canadian content, making it more findable on streamers. These things that have been reported are all true. This is what they were up to. And there's no way. Now we're in a new world where this trade war could go on for some time. So I focused a lot of my feedback for the Prime Minister on the things that we really need to see on prioritizing robust support for workers, especially workers losing their jobs in specific affected industries. We already live in a country where the employment insurance system is broken. And I made this point forcefully because I think it's a disgrace. Only 1 in 3 Canadian workers can benefit from EI that they pay into week in, week out. And it only covers a little more than half your wage or salary if you do need to rely on EI. And that's just wrong. And I made that case to the Prime Minister. There is a package of supports that's been released, and we'll be fighting hard to make sure that it's appropriate. We also made a point strongly today that there have to be safeguards in place so that this package for industries doesn't get misused. We know during the pandemic that there were big corporations that took public supports for workers and, you fill their own coffers, use them for dividends and share buybacks and bonuses, and that cannot happen. So we want to see safeguards on that. That's important. This is a look in the mirror moment for Canada. This is a crossroads moment for Canada. We need to build an economy that is more independent. And what we've seen, unfortunately, and we are disappointed in this, that the Carney government has been doubling down on oil and gas, on AI without brakes or regulation, and on weapons and war. And those things are not going to build a more independent Canadian economy. We have lots of concrete proposals, and a lot of them revolve around the way the world is moving to renewable energy in this moment. Instead of buying the oil industry, which is on track to make $100 billion in wartime profits this year, instead of buying them another $40, $50, $60 billion pipeline, we need to use the leverage of critical minerals and energy exports with the United States in trying to reduce these punishing tariffs and be prepared to use all the leverage that we have. But more importantly, we need to make the transition get started on the transition that other countries are making. Renewable energy is the only energy that will provide us with energy independence. We have incredible conditions here for a new renewable energy revolution with an east-west-north electricity grid, with battery storage, a massive program of home retrofits that employ people right away, that create immense amounts of economic activity, that use Canadian materials, that imply manufacturing that can be done under public ownership to get heat pumps in public homes. Public ownership is the tool that we need to make this renewable revolution, roll out jobs, clean electricity across the country. This is the kind of scale and ambition and program that we need to be focused on, because we know that this tariff war is coming on top of an existing crisis of everyday cost of living emergency for Canadian families trying to pay for food, trying to pay for shelter. And we need to address these things with some of the wealth of this country put directly into solving those incredible challenges that Canadians are facing. We're going to continue to put these concrete proposals in front of the Canadian people. And I was grateful for the opportunity to talk to the Prime Minister directly today and do some of that. And you're going to hear a lot more of these things that we've been talking about as this difficult period continues. And as we come together as Canadians, we may all be in this together. We don't all have the same interests. And the 99% and the working class majority in this country needs totally different things from the captains of corporations. And that battle is going to continue.